The ocean. I used to go sit by the ocean for years in March. Yes, it's March. My parents both died in the month of March, 14 days apart. Actually, 13 days apart. And my mother died first. My dad was very, very ill. Had told me over the weekend previous that hospice was the next stop, and they were done doing treatment. He had lung cancer that had spread to his brain. He'd been doing about 6 months of chemotherapy and radiation and stuff, and so I was somewhat prepared for that. And on this weekend visit, my mother was in denial. Bless her heart, she was not ready to accept what was going on. She was smoking in the house. She was using aerosol deodorant. These were things that were really harming my father, and I got militant. I mean, there's no other way. I didn't do it vocally, but I very silently took the spray deodorant and I threw it in the trash, and I went down to the drugstore and I bought a roll-on and replaced it in the bathroom. And when she got up and lit up a cigarette, I said, "You gotta take that outside." You know, Dad was having a rough morning. He couldn't get up without help to go to the bathroom. And when I left, she was still sitting outside. She wouldn't talk to me. She was angry. And I got in the car and I knew I needed to call my mom. I needed to tell her, "I'm sorry, I'm trying to do the best thing I can." And I got on the phone with the guy I was dating at the time. It was long before Rick. And I got on the phone with this guy who was a sweetheart, who told me, "No, I've done the right thing." And I honestly believe I did the right thing that day, or those 2 days, that weekend. But I didn't pick up the phone and I didn't call. And I say I'm over it, but every time I talk about it, I still cry. So is there something left there? She died at 4 o'clock that morning. And I know I made peace with her Mother's Day about 4 years later. And I understand that in my head, but like I said, I'm losing track of the years, but we're about 17, 18 years later, and still, when I start talking about this, it is, if I can say I've had a regret in my life, that's been my regret. Because I didn't make that step to create that forgiveness, and I didn't get a second chance. So, can I regret this situation? No, because I do tell the story from time to time, and I tell the story because I don't want you to sit back 17, 18 years later with tears going down your face for something you didn't say. I was grateful yesterday that an old friend that had kind of a bumpy situation with for the last few years, I was able to actually embrace and hug yesterday. Find someone in your life that you need to say "I'm sorry" to, and seek that forgiveness for yourself, whether they accept it or not.